sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kelsey. I live in Florida and I will start my first year teaching in August, and I am so excited to get the year going. So I'm sure you noticed from the title of this video, I have some really big news. I have accepted a position in a school that I've been wanting to teach at in my district today, and I am so excited. It still hasn't hit me. Like, I can't even believe that it's real. Like, this is happening. Like, this time next year, I am going to be, hopefully, if nothing crazy like this happens again, but I am going to be in my own classroom with my own students. Like, it's mind-blowing. Like, I don't understand. Like, I kind of teared up when I officially accepted the position, and it just still hasn't hit me. Like, I'm sorry guys, I just can't believe that it's real and it's happening. I'm going to tell you all about it, my story, and just everything. So in this video, I did want to share my experience with my hiring process, my interview process, and I wanted to go ahead and share some interview tips that I have came up with that I kind of stuck to and helped me get my job. And that sounds so weird, get my job. Oh my god, I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I can't wait. So here we go. So if you watched my previous videos, you know that I was student teaching in a school in my district that I have really wanted, and I loved it. I loved the staff, the principal, the assistant principal, everything about the school. I just loved it. Throughout my internship, I was, really giving it my all, and I was really passionate about, the school and helping the school grow and helping my kids, and I was just always being positive and putting my best foot forward with everything that I did. But it was more important to me because it was a school that I really fell in love with. So throughout the internship, I would, talk with the principal, I would talk with my cooperating teacher, with the team, with the staff. I became friends with everyone that I met. And overall, it was just kind of positive and a supportive environment. So before I start sharing, I did want to let you know that my hiring process was very different than like the traditional hiring and interviewing process. So I'm not saying that if you take these steps or you take these tips, it's going to work out exactly the way it did for me. It was just a very different experience for me. Not that it was bad or anything at all. Everything just kind of fell into place. This is what I did to help me in my situation. And I hope that the tips that I give you would help you in whatever situation you're in. But, this is what helped me. So here we go. Towards the end of my internship, there was one day when my cooperating teacher and I went into my principal and assistant principal's office. And it was just to ask them a question that my cooperating teacher had. And they were asking the question, they were talking about it and whatever. And then the principal just looks at me and she's like, "So I have some questions for you." And I was like, oh no, I don't like being put on the spot at all. So she's like, "I have some questions for you. What grade are you interested in teaching? Are you interested in staying here? How do you like the school?" And just asking me my interest and everything. So, I let her know, if I love the school, I would love to work here. I'm interested in teaching either 3rd or 4th grade. I'm open, but my preference would be 3rd or 4th grade. And I started telling her how I'm passionate and how different plans that I had. And, she asked me little questions about what have I done in different lessons. And then she told me she wanted to observe me in person. And I was it was just a lot of information. So, I was really, really nervous, but it was fine. So that was kind of my informal interview. She did ask me a few questions, but it was it wasn't as formal. We weren't sitting there and then question number 1 and question number 2. It wasn't like that at all. It was a good conversation. After that conversation, she was like, "I really would love for you to be at my school." And I was like, I would love to have that opportunity. And we just kind of left it at that. Throughout my internship and everything, I have her and a bunch of different people from the school on my social media. And so, I would constantly be sharing things, posting things, and they would like it and comment. And so we just still stayed in contact throughout all the time. And then when all of this with COVID-19 happened, obviously we were outside of the schools. So I hadn't really heard from anyone or anything since then. And so through my college, we had to create our profiles and everything to join the virtual job fair that was going on. I was starting to do that. I set up my account and everything. And I was still in communication with my cooperating teacher because I still help out here and there on the online classes whenever I can and if I have access to it. So she was also helping me kind of like set up my profile and everything and just kind of guiding me through everything. Throughout all this process, we kind of did like sample interviewing. I also met with my college supervisor and we did some sample interviewing as well. So, both of them were like, you are ready for the job fair, whether or not, our principal's going to contact you or not, like you're ready, it doesn't matter. So I was like, okay, so, I kind of had a feeling that I was going to stay at the school that I was interning at, but I still was like trying to be willing to keep my options open in case anything didn't work out or anything didn't fall through at all. So then she actually emailed me and let me know like, hey, I would like to set up like a meeting day through like the Teams, Microsoft Teams account or virtual platform. And she was like, I would like to set up a meeting because I want to talk, I want to talk to you about, future plans or whatever. And I was like, okay. So we got on the virtual meeting and it was her and the assistant principal and then one of like the academic like teacher coaches there. She was basically like, we want you on our campus, we want you here, so you don't need to worry about trying to go look for another job because you're amazing and we would love for you to stay here with us, and I know you want a 3rd or 4th grade teaching positions. It just made me so happy like knowing that because of all the connections I built and because of, the relationships and just everything that I had built throughout my internship, this is what it's coming down to. It's coming down to me getting my job where I want to be. So that made me feel so good. I told her yes, I do want to stay at your school. So basically what had to happen was I still had to attend the job fair, but it was to, apply to the actual position and to kind of solidify everything and go through the behind the scenes stuff, the paperwork and stuff, and just start sending all that stuff over. So as of today, I accepted a 3rd grade position, and so I will be teaching 3rd grade next year. That sounds so insane to even say. So this morning, I went back on the website just to make sure my application, everything was in, and the principal secretary from the school, reached out to me and let me know, okay, we're sending your, your request to hire for teaching 3rd grade, and, you'll have to just send me this information, all of that. And I was like, so this is official, this is crazy. It just still feels so unreal. I don't think it's gonna actually hit me until I'm actually teaching and I have my schedule, I have my kids, I have my classroom. I don't think it'll actually hit me until then, but it definitely just feels so surreal right now. It's so crazy. So although I didn't have an actual serious formal interview, I did have different informal interviews, and just kind of throughout my internship, me interning was kind of my interview every day. So she definitely got to know me like that. The school got to know me, the staff, all the other teachers, so I definitely just feel so happy to have, that. Yes, so as of today, I will be a 3rd grade teacher next year. There is a possibility that a 4th grade position would become available. It just wasn't available today as of the job fair, just because there's still transfers and stuff that are still going on. So there is a possibility that a 4th grade position will be available. So there is a chance that I may teach 4th grade or 3rd grade. That's still, I don't know. But as of right now, I am a 3rd grade teacher. So, I'm going to be a 3rd grade teacher. But I did want to go ahead and give you guys kind of my tips that I, kind of came up with. And I've also gotten from other teachers or mentors. And I believe that they, would definitely help you land that job in that school that you want. And so whatever I use to help me, I'm trying to share so that it may be able to help you. So I have 6 tips that I want to share. And I know 6 is an awkward number, but I couldn't just come down to 5 and I couldn't go up to 10. So it's 6. Alrighty, so tip number 1 is to relax and be yourself. I know that with all of the interviews going on and teaching positions opening up and summer is coming and all of that stuff, I know that you can get anxious and it's stressful and nerve-wracking. I know that. And I'm just here to tell you to relax and be yourself in your interview. You know, you want to be able to show the principals, you know, your personality and your passion. And I know nerves may kind of build that wall and hide that, but just take a deep breath and relax. So this second tip is, it just kind of depends on where you want to work. So for in my case, I did want to work at the school that I was interning at. So with that being said, my second tip is to take every day as if it is an interview. So I kind of got that from my college professors, and they would say, like, every day that you walk onto a campus, that's another day that you're interviewing for the principal. So you want to be your best. You want to dress professionally. You want to have a smile on your face. You want to be positive, because you don't know who's watching you, and you don't know who wants to come up to you and talk to you and, you know, offer you a job. So you want to take every day that you are on a campus as if it were another interview. My tip number 3 is to do your research. So if you know that there is a school that you definitely want, or even a couple of schools, do your research. I went onto the school website and I started looking at what their mission statement is, what their goals are. I would look at the principal's message. I would look at like the staff, and if you can see the demographics of the school. Just do your research on the school altogether, you know, and what the school grade is, and, you know, how long have they been open, just in general. You want to really familiarize yourself with where you're going to work, because essentially the school you're going to be working at is pretty much going to be your second home. So my advice to you is to get to know it very well. My tip number 4 is to do practice interviews. What I did was I kind of went online and I found a bunch of sample teacher interview questions that I found online or from other YouTube videos, on Instagram, anywhere where you could find sample interview questions. And I made another Word document and I typed out all of the questions, and then I kind of thought about my answers to each question and I bullet pointed my answers so that way it wasn't just a huge paragraph form. So I'll go ahead and put on this screen a list of some sample questions. If you want to go ahead and pause the video so that you can copy them down and keep them, I'll go ahead and do that for you. But so these are just a few questions that I went ahead and, I practiced with. And then, you want to find people that you really trust to do those sample interviews with you. So for me, it was my college supervisor, college professors, and my cooperating teacher. So yes, practice interviewing with other people. Tip number 5 is to talk about your own experiences. So when you're interviewing, I know that you may get caught up in saying, well, my cooperating teacher and I, or in the classroom I was doing my internship and she or he did this. That's not what they want to hear. They know that you've been an intern. They know that you have not had a classroom yet, and they know that you were helping the cooperating teacher out. So they know all of that, but they want to know what you have done and what you feel and what you believe. So whenever you're talking about your own internship or your own lessons, you want to say I, me, my. If they ask you, can you give us an example of your best math lesson? You want to put it into first perspective. So you want to say, in my best math lesson, I was able to use technology and use manipulatives to help support my students, and whatever it is. And you just want to make sure that you're always referring back to yourself. You want to know what you did. So just make sure you talk about how amazing you are, and you talk about how amazing all of the things that you did were, and just talk about you. And my last tip is to ask questions. During the interview, if there's a question that is unclear to you, it's okay to ask, can you repeat that for me? Or, to clarify the question. That is okay. Principals know that you're nervous, and they know that you probably have 1,000,001 things going through your head. So it's okay to ask questions, but definitely ask questions at the end of your interview. You want to make sure that you have a couple of questions ready to go if they ask you, do you have any questions for me? I personally would suggest asking questions related to the school and related to first year teacher support. So one of the questions that I had was, are there any programs in place to support first year teachers? And that is a good opportunity to show like you are willing to learn, you are willing to ask questions, and you want to grow as a professional. So I would definitely just have a couple of questions prepared to ask at the end of your interview. So that's it. That's pretty much all of my tips that I wanted to go ahead and share with you. I know in this time it could be nerve-wracking, and if you are getting ready to interview, you've got this. You're amazing, and you are going to land the job that is perfect for you. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me comments down below. Go ahead and like the video and don't forget to subscribe. You can also always reach me at my Instagram at Classroom Sunshine. And I hope you have an amazing time during your interview, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!